If you are watching this video from somewhere other than Australia, you might not appreciate just how vast our country is. I live in Perth in Western Australia. Driving to the eastern states by car takes me 2 days just to get to the state border. This is the equivalent distance from Paris to Rome. It takes 5 days to drive from Perth
to Melbourne.
Towns are few and far between until you get closer to the eastern seaboard. The arid Nullarbor Plains have well-appointed roadhouses about 100 kilometres apart, providing accommodation and food to the weary traveller. Road trains, which are trucks and trailers 53 metres long, ply these main routes. They share the road with cars, caravans, motorbikes, even the occasional bicycle. The speed limit is 110 kilometres an hour, about 60 miles an hour. For many car drivers, this might be the first time that they have driven anywhere outside of their city. The hazards of outback roads are
many.
Drifting off the bitumen, hitting any number of creatures such as sheep, cattle, kangaroos, emus, goats, eagles,
camels or wombats.
It is estimated that 10 million creatures are killed on our roads each year.
A sad statistic.
Hitting a kangaroo at 110 kilometres an hour will kill it and will damage your car, even to the point where it is undrivable. Swerving to avoid it may kill you or injure you, as this unlucky motorist found out recently.
A Royal Flying Doctor plane's been forced to land on a remote outback highway to save an Adelaide man fighting for life. The driver rolled his car in the middle of nowhere, hundreds of kilometres from the closest town.
With the traffic stopped on the air highway, the Royal Flying Doctor service comes into land, touching down in the middle of nowhere where an Adelaide man is fighting for life.
Tried to dodge a kangaroo and no luck, ended up rolling the car. He was stuck in the car for a few hours until he was retrieved.
The 53-year-old rolled his car on Saturday, 3 hours from the nearest town, but sheer luck meant a truckie drove past and alerted authorities.
It was a pretty harrowing sort of event when you have someone that is trapped in a car that obviously can't get out.
Within minutes, the call reached RFDS headquarters in Port Augusta, which then prompted locals to set up a roadblock.
Fine, Doctor Aircraft, road is secure, all the vehicles are stopped and you're clear to land.
Pet mover Alison Norman was among dozens asked to pull over.
We could hear it, we couldn't see it, and next thing it was down on the ground. It was quite close. As we drove past, it was almost like you could reach out and touch it.
If it wasn't for all the volunteers and our operators, we wouldn't have been able to land there in that particular point, which can be detrimental to outcomes.
Crews were on the ground for more than 8 hours and even performed a roadside surgery before flying him to the Royal Adelaide Hospital.
I carry a first aid kit in my car, but dread coming across an accident. If this was on the Nullarbor with its poor phone reception, it could be hours before medical help arrives. That medical help would probably be in the form of the Royal Flying Doctor aircraft. These are flying emergency clinics brought on scene.
Late one night, and we got a call for a motor vehicle accident, a rollover on one of the highways out in the remote parts of the Northern Highway. When we got there, it was a family, a mother and a father and 2 small children. So the car had actually gone into the soft verge of the road and had rolled over, and all of them were quite serious. The doctor and the medical team that were there obviously had to work on site because we were in the middle of nowhere, and it was quite a stressful time. Even though they were quite badly injured, we managed to stabilise them there. We got them on board the aircraft and we got them back to Perth, and they all ended up making a full recovery. So that's the reason why I do the job.
The Royal Royal Flying Doctors Service is one of the most innovative organisations in the world in the delivery of healthcare services and has been since day one. Our mission is quite clear, and that is to deliver the finest care to the furthest corners of the country. It can be a mother about to give birth. It can be somebody with a road accident on the side of a highway somewhere. It can be somebody on a mine site in the far north of the state. That means that we need a reliable aircraft that is going to be able to access the furthest corners of our state, which is 2.5 million square kilometres of distance. For us, the Pilatus PC-12 is our aircraft of choice because of its reliability and the fact that it just continues to perform for us.
The aircraft is state-of-the-art, Pratt & Whitney turbine engine. The avionics suite is Honeywell. The aeroplane's pressurised, which means we can fly quite high and still have a comfortable cabin for the occupants. It's equipped not only for the pilot's point of view for the best avionics suite. Medically, it's fitted out for the benefit of pretty much any patient that we need to carry. It's a flying intensive care unit.
We work our aircraft really hard, as you can imagine, because we have to be there wherever and whenever a patient needs us. Annually, our 14 PC-12 aircraft fly about 1,600 hours each. Which, to put it into context, I think the average for most private operators around the world is probably about 200 hours a year maximum. Annually, we fly 8 million kilometres, which is the equivalent of about 200 times around the Earth. We fly 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, all weather conditions, and quite often landing on unprepared remote airstrips, dirt and gravel.
Everyone's always rather happy to see the Royal Flying Doctor Service pull up on their strip because generally no help has arrived.
Pilatus have been fantastic partners of ours right from 2000 when we first introduced the PC-12 aircraft into our fleet, not only in terms of providing a fantastically reliable and safe aircraft, but also in terms of support, in terms of really a relationship that really understands our business, understands the type of operations we fly, understands the areas and the conditions we operate in, and forever working with us to make sure that their aircraft meets the needs of our patients and our people. I think if the Reverend John Flynn was to be here today and have a look at the Flying Doctors and what we're delivering, I think he would say that we have totally fulfilled his vision. His vision was always to take the finest healthcare to the furthest corners of the country and be delivering health outcomes for people most in need. And I think he would unequivocally say that today we're doing exactly that. We're doing it in far more innovative ways. We're doing it for far more patients than I'm sure he ever envisaged. And some of the technology we use, whether it be the aircraft or the telehealth and the video conferencing, I'm sure he never would have envisaged that. But the core purpose, the core reason for being and the core vision that he had, I think we're fulfilling more than ever today, and I'm sure he would be proud to still be associated with the Flying Doctors today.
The East-West Highway and other major highways have airstrips marked out on the road at intervals. Police will stop traffic for the plane to land and then take off. The Royal Flying Doctor Service operates Pilatus PC-24, PC-12 aircraft, as well as King Air B-350C, B-200C and B-360 CHW aircraft for specialist roles. These are funded by charity and serve remote and rural Australia. We have come across evidence of an accident many times and always hoped that the people were okay. Near one roadhouse, we came across a truck that was towing a trailer that had veered off the road and turned over. It was carrying carrots and fresh produce to Western Australia. We arrived at that roadhouse to stop for the night and entered the restaurant. The menu that night featured that day's specials: carrots. We had carrot soup, carrot salad, roasted carrots and chicken, carrot juice smoothies and carrot cake. Waste not, want not. Thank you for watching. Liking, subscribing and hitting the notify bell promotes new content.